Hi, this is Cheryl St.Pierre of Majestic Wire Artworks. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these all metal earrings with the new tops that I came up with. It's a brand new design. It's a little challenging, so bear with us. It's going to take practice to get it, but it's going to be worthwhile because I'm going to come up with a few designs using these tops. So please join me in this video and stay the distance. I encourage you to watch the whole video before you try it. And I also want to encourage you to share the link to this video, especially if you enjoy it, to bring in new viewers to my channel. And I'm also going to have a little bit of an insert of an advertising for a new Etsy store I'm going to have for my watercolors. So that's coming next. And let's go. Hi, I'm going to put in a plug for myself here. I am going to be opening up a new Etsy shop within the near future. And you may know that I've got a join subscription for extra support to help my channel keep going. But if you do not want to join, how you could support me and you get something in return is I am making some watercolor bookmarks. They're in a plastic vinyl case with a tassel, and they're great for gifts. And I will, as soon as it's open, I will put the link in the description of how to get there, that you could possibly support me by purchasing one of my bookmarks. I'm just going to show you some of the ones I've done to this date. And so this one's quite interesting. This is a set of 3, and I call them sister bookmarks. So what you can do is, if you have 3 sisters in your family or 3 best friends, it's a set. It's been one painting that I've cut into 3 bookmarks, or you could buy just 2. And you know, for best friends, kind of like the necklaces that you can do where you share 2 halves. And I'm going to be making more like that. And I just wanted to promote that. Thank you for listening to me. Okay, so let's begin. And what you're going to need for tools is you're going to need your flush cutters, your round nose pliers, and your chain nose pliers. I do have links for the ones I have in the description, because I've been asked which ones I use, and I like ones with really tiny tips, and I like my my snips to be able to get into tiny places, especially with this pair of earrings. It has a new technique that I came up with for the top of the earring, and you really need a pair of snips that can get in a tight space. So these are perfect, absolutely perfect for the job. So you're going to need those. You're going to need, of course, you always need a ruler in all my tutorials. You're going to need your 20 gauge wire. You're going to need 4 9-inch pieces. And I'm going to have metric written in the description. And you're going to need 2 pieces of 2.5 feet 28 gauge wire for your weaving wire. And you're going to, let's see, what else are you going to need? Your ear wires. And that's it. No beads with this pair of earrings. So it's quite simple with what supplies you need. So right now I'm going to show you how to do the weave. And I'm just going to take 2 scrap pieces of wire to show you how to do that. Just so I'm not fighting with wire on camera. Just going to show the weave. This is the 3/4 weave. I do have more detailed instructions in my tips and techniques, but I just wrap around. Got the tail going up the one wire. You just take one of your 20 gauge wire and wrap the 28 gauge wire around it, and then push it together like that, so it's nice and neat. Then you introduce your second wire like this, because you only need two 20 gauge wires for one earring. And now I'm going to wrap around that wire, and I call this lassoing it in because we're wrapping around each one separately, and then that just locks the wires together. So now the next step for the weave is, it's called 3/4 weave because we're going around 3/4 of the way. And you know, for the first time we're actually going the full one whole thing, because we're going from the center to the center. And now I'm going down, you know, close up, down in there, and that is the first half of the pattern. And now I'm down at the bottom. Now I'm coming up to the top, and we're always coming up to the top from the bottom. You know, we're always going that direction. So if you're going the opposite way, you made a mistake somewhere along the way. Okay, so now I'm coming around to the front, and I'm going to wrap around and come up the bottom like that. Okay, so then it's hard for you to see what I'm doing. Just pay attention for a little bit longer. I will say it over and over again for a few weaves. Okay, so now I'm in the middle on top, and I'm going down, and I'm wrapping around. So the long around, and now I'm, whoops, sorry, bumped the camera, going down between the two. Okay, and now I'm coming up again, and you can see that I've got a long wrap, and then a little wrap, and a little wrap. And this, it'll look very similar at the back. So I'm down at the bottom, coming up, always coming up, and I'm going over to the top two wires, top of the two wires, and then I'm going to come up between the two wires. And now I'm going down. So when you're on top, you're always going down. And I'm going up and around. I went on the bottom of both wires, but now I'm just going to go down one wire. Okay, and I'm going to cinch it up so that you can see the pattern a little bit better. It's always hard to do the cinching at first. Okay. So you see how it's got two shorts and a long, two shorts and a long? That's the look we're getting. That's the look we want. And the back looks exactly the same. Two shorts and a long, two shorts and a long. Okay. So now we're coming up, because we have two shorts already, we are going to go make our long. So now we're going to come up between the bottom two wires, and then we're going to go down again. So at top, whenever we're at the top, we don't go up, we always go down, and at the bottom we go up. So we're covering the long, we're going underneath both wires, coming up to the top, going to make our next short little one and go down between the middle. See, that way we made our two shorts. And now we're going up again. And because we have our two shorts done, we want the long, where we're going over top of both wires and then coming up between the two. Does that make sense? Okay, and then I'm going to cinch it. Now, I recommend cinching it up probably every six patterns. Okay, so that's how you do the weave. You might want to practice the weave on some scrap wire first. So, okay, that's how you do it. Now, when you actually start your earrings, you've got your 9-inch pieces of wire. I want you to find the approximately the center. I've given you a little bit of extra wire in case you don't get to the center. But once you get to about this stage, you should still be able to slide it a little bit. Anything more than this and you won't be able to slide it. So then find out where you're going to weave 1 1/4 inches. So you got 9 inches. Take away a good half. So 9 divided by 2 is 4 1/2. Okay, so 4 inches. Say let's start at 4 inches from the left side is where you're going to start your weave, and it's going to get you in the approximate center of the wires. And we just need to be approximate. So, and I want you to weave 1 1/4 inches long, where I want you to cinch it up regularly because we want it nice and tight to have that even nice look. And then if for those of you that are metric, 32 millimeters is approximately 1 1/4 inches. So yeah, that's all you need to do, and you need to do 2 of them. So I've got mine done already, but I'm just gonna pause here to get a drink of water because my throat's dry. But then you can go ahead and catch up with me because I have mine done. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I have my weaving done, as I said. And whether you did 1/4 inch, 1 1/4 inches or not of weaving, that's only approximate, but you want the 2 to be pretty exact. You want them to match. So whichever you do first, make your second one the same length. If you ended up getting carried away with your second one, then do a couple more wraps on your first one to make them the same length. So that's the priority, is that they're the same length. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to snip off your wire. And what's wonderful about this weave is no matter what you do, it always ends up in the middle. So we want to snip, take your snips, and you want to go as close as possible to that wire and snip it off. So it's as close can be on both of them and both ends. Once you've got the weaving the same length. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that wire and I'm going to snip off on that one too. And what's so great about being in the center, it makes it so that your weaving doesn't unravel, as well as when you crimp it in. So we're going to crimp it in like this. It makes it so that there's no sharp edge. It kind of hides between the 2. Now this one I didn't get tight enough. I mean close enough, because the wire must have been sitting funny. So I'm going to straighten it out and snip it again. Ah, there it is. It was bent around and it shouldn't have been. So, and now crimp it in, and then just make sure there's no pokies, and there isn't. Okay, so that part's done. Okay, so the next step to do is we're going to make our teardrops. And now the exact shape is going to be of your personal choice. And but you want to have it so that it's centered, and you can wiggle it and so that both sides are level. So if one side's higher, then you just change it up like that. Okay. Now, just for reference sake, I have my left side on top. So on both sides, it's going to be the left side is on top. And you might, just for ease, you might want to pay attention to that and do the same with yours. And yours might have, you might want a wider bottom, or, I mean, each pair can be separate, different, but you want your pair to be the same. So you got to pay attention to how you do it and try to make them. Now it's got to be level too. That one kind of bent on me. So again, I've got the left one on top. And I mean, once your brain gets around how to do the top of the earring, you can do it. You'll be able to figure it out how to do it the other direction. This doesn't have to be mirrored because I've done mirrored and you couldn't really tell the difference. So mirroring isn't crucial with this pair of earrings. So I am not doing mirrored. I'm not teaching mirrored. But if you wanted to mirror it, you would just have one with the top being left and the other with the top being right. And you want that to be the same. And do they look the same? This one's got a little bit of wonkiness going on. I'm going to open it up and rebend it. Okay, I think that's better. And you want the teardrops to be the same height. So you want them crisscrossing at the same place. And I see this is, I wanted to straighten it out. And where you crisscross it will affect the length of your earring. Each pair may be different, but that's okay. It's nice to have those kinds of changes because every pair will be different. It won't be exact. Okay, so they're pretty close. And now I'm going to hold it tight, support it, and we want to bend one forward and one backwards, because if you do them both back, you will have done all your weaving. All your weaving will have to be thrown away because you won't be able to fix it. I've done that in my prototypes, so it's easy enough to do. So you want one, you're holding it tight. You're going to hold the shape, especially with the second one. The first one's not as crucial. And you're going to bend this one forward over itself like that. And then you're going to bend this one back like that. Okay. And the one at the back, we are going to snip off and crimp down so it touches itself, but we want it fairly tight so that it gives the earring support and strength. So I'm going to snip it off just enough to get it to bend down, but not too close that I can't. And then I'm taking my chain nose pliers and bending it down and crimping it in, because that's going to be covered, so if you scratch the wire, it won't matter. But you see how I've got it underneath the top two wires? I don't want to scratch those wires. end. There. So I've got that done like that. And you want to do the same thing for the other earrings, exactly the same thing, but I'm going to pause this because I'm not going to show it a second time. I changed my mind about something. I just wanted to point out that now you really want to make sure that they're the same height and that the crisscrossing at the same height. Once you get the size down where they crisscrossed. So I've got it like that. Got them over top of each other. I'm going to lock it, hold it there like that. Then I'm going to hold this in place. And this one, I mentioned before, it's crucial for the bending. So I'm going to do the bending of the second one. So that one goes forward. And then the other one goes back. And then we do the snipping and crimping just like before. Okay, now for the tricky part of these earrings. The next step we're going to do is make a loop. You're going to take the bottom wire and make a loop at the bottom. And you kind of want to do, I'm just going to show you on one, but you probably want to do both steps. With the earrings, like after you do this one, do the same step with the other earring. So you want to loop like that. And then this is where these snips are really important, is we're going to snip that off right there so that the wire touches itself. So just like that. And then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and make it touch. Close that up. And you want to make the other earring the same size. And you want it to be flush. And we're going to, I forgot to mention that we're going to need a file. We're going to brush it because you're going to get Mars. I can guarantee it. And we're just going to give it a brushed metal look. Just to take that away. Okay, so like that, it's centered. And now we're going to mirror that loop with this second wire. And this can be difficult. But just take your time and mirror it. And then go over top of the wires there. And now you need your round nose pliers, and you're going to make a loop going opposite way on top, and that's going to we're just going to take like that and wrap it around like that, and then you just wiggle it till it's the center, and you want to snip it right there. And you got to make sure you only snip that one wire. Okay, and now I'm going to take the round nose pliers and close that up. And see, it's on the side. We're just going to straighten that out like that. And you're going to, now you want it to be all level. This is where you end up marring the wire, and we know it's going to happen. Okay, like that. And I'm going to snip that off a little bit shorter. And close that up again. Okay, so it looks like that. That's the elegant top of this earring. And now you're going to take your file, and I'm using a metal file, and I'm just going to give it that brushed metal look. And I'm, you know, you can go quite a ways and give it a real flat brushed look. And this is going to work harden it as well as give that specific look we want. We're going to do this to both. Now, it's not sitting level, but that's okay. We're going to fix it, and you just do it until you're happy. Now, I do say this is a difficult pair of earrings to make. Probably challenging for a beginner, but you know, when I was a beginner, I did very challenging stuff. So I do not discourage beginners from doing hard stuff, because you just don't know what your capabilities are until you try. And you got to stretch yourself. And you want it to be flat until you're happy. Okay, and you want that to be straight. Now I've already done my other one. Okay, and there they are. They're ready to go on to the ear wires. And got them here. Here's one. So I'm asking you that if you enjoyed this video, to share the link on your social media to bring other people to my channel to help support my channel. And this is the new design. And it's a brand new top that I came up with this week, and I thought I'd share. So there they are. And I've got a couple more ideas of doing different ideas at the bottom with the same at the top. So we're going to get used to doing this top. And the more we do, the easier it's going to get. I'm still finding it challenging, but I think with practice, it's going to get easier. And we can make a whole bunch of cute little earrings that would have that really elegant looking top. So thanks for joining me in this video, and God bless, and we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.